Douglas County Court at Law number 2 is in session. The court is in session with announcement docket on today's date, March 14th, 2025. First case is cause number 24CCCR 2064. Case is style of state of Texas versus James Wilson Fields. Mr. Fields, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Fields?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Fields. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marvin Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. Now, Ms. Provo, what is your announcement in Mr. Fields' case?
We would like to keep this on the announcement document. I just got an offer this morning, so I need time to talk to my client and proceed from
Okay, give us a reset date.
there.
April 11th.
He also has a.
Yes, they're not the
It's a
same
separate
office day. This case will be reset to April 11th, 2025.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fields, you're gonna get your reset from our
Yes.
court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go.
Thank you.
And you have a blessed day. Please
Yes,
stand in
sir.
front of the
Thank
court coordinator.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Murphy, this one.
We can give you time to see if you can contact him. Okay, they didn't show up. Huh? Oh, that's vacation letter, so they don't have to be here.
Let's just take it on you. Yeah, I'm in.
No. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. 2 cases. Cause numbers 23 CCCR 1001. Cause number 23 CCCR 1774. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Mitchell Lee Rollins Jr. Mr. Rollins, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Rollins? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Rollins, you're representing the case by your attorney, Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing?
Doing fine, Your Honor.
The state is represented in this case by Attorney Shane Hilton. Attorney Hilton, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Burbank, what is your announcements in Mr. Rollins' cases?
My understanding, Judge, is that the prosecutor just received this case. I also provided him some information that may be dispositive of this case, so I'd ask for a normal recess. Maybe we could come to an agreement, so we could avoid a trial.
Give us a reset date.
He just had the case the other.
Okay, the case will be reset to April 11th, 2025. Mr. Rollins, you're gonna get your recess from our court coordinator. Once you get your recess, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Stay here.
This is cause number 24 CCCR 1808. Case is styled in the state of Texas versus Jason Monroe Murchison. Mr. Murchison, is that your full name?
Senior.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Murchison?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Murchison, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marvel Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing? Ms. Provo, what's your announcement in Mr. Murchison's case?
You know, we like to retain this as an announcement, doctor. I just got an offer, so we need time to go over that.
Okay, give us a reset date. Yeah, might as well. That'll be April 11th, 2025. Mr. Murchison, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from court coordinator, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Beautiful.
Please stand in front of the court coordinator. Oh, let me see.
Reset.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, let's see, okay. Yeah. You said, who? Marcus Lewis? Please come forward. Mr. Lewis, you're represented by James Paget. Attorney Paget is unable to be here, and so therefore the case had to be reset. The bailiff has you reset. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman, you're free to go.
Announcement.
Leonard Collins,
Morning, Your Honor.
morning.
Can't find my.
Okay, this is cause number M 329 225, case of solid state of Texas versus Leonard James Collins. Mr. Collins, is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Collins? That's good. Now, Mr. Collins, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing?
Great judge.
Okay, now, Mr. Collins, well, Mr. Cole, what is your announcement in Mr. Collins' case?
I got the offer, Judge. Got through with my client. We're gonna look at a few things and, next time we're up, either we're announcing the trial or we've been and worked it out. So that's for more reset.
Give us a reset date. Case will be reset to April 25th, 2025. Mr. Collins, gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Cole, I think this is your only case. You're free to go as well. You have a blessed
That's
day.
it, Your Honor. Sure, you can't trigger. But it's taking forever.
Mr. Crowder, please put your mic back on mute.
Uh,
Thank you.
Nice to see you last night. Not necessarily.
You checked the wrong box.
Oh, and
Is this,
they may need to,
We're reducing it.
yeah, may need to be some changes, Your Honor.
they're reducing it to a,
First,
DWI first. Yeah, it wasn't on the
yeah, that
paperwork.
was my mistake.
So just have a seat. She has to retype the paperwork.
Well, you don't do that.
No, that's,
Rookie mistake.
Court is in session and cause number 24 CCCR 2306. Case is style of state of Texas versus Rachel M. Pritchard. Ms. Pritchard, is that your full name?
Yes.
Ms. Pritchard, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Tom Burbank. Attorney Burbank, how are you doing?
No, fine.
And Mr. Burbank, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
doing well, Judge, thank you.
And Mr. Burbank, did you waive a record in Ms. Pritchard's case?
We do.
Ms. Pritchard, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Rachel M. Pritchard, on or about January 12th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of DWI. Now, the state you're dismissing the enhancement paragraph.
Yes, Your Honor, we're abandoning the enhancement.
Okay, so, Ms. Pritchard, what that means is the state, since they're abandoning the enhancement paragraph, instead of being charged with a Class A DWI, you'll be charged with a lesser included Class B DWI. Do you understand that? Okay, now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about January 12th of 2024, in a public place, but while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place, Jefferson County, Texas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? And Ms. Pritchard, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are two sets of initials. One set of initials are your attorney initials, and the next set, I presume, is your initials. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is this your signature? On the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification, the Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. You understand that statement? I also have another document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Ms. Pritchard, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? Did you understand everything that your attorney went over? Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Pritchard, are you a citizen of the United States?
0 for 6-1.
Any objections? State's Exhibit Number 1?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Burbank, you've advised and counseled Ms. Pritchard. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, you.
And Ms. Pritchard, your attorney, Mr. Burbank, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Pritchard, I will accept your plea of no contest and will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is 15 months deferred probation with a $500 fine, 60 hours community service, the installation and maintaining of an interrupt device, and DWI standard conditions of probation.
What is a court cause? Ms. Pritchett, the state is offering that you serve 15 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $377. You'll be required to pay a DWI conviction fee of $100. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your announcement fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. And you will be required, you were appointed, right?
I was you.
You'll be required to reimburse the Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $350. Your total monthly is, well, you'll also be required to attend and complete a DWI education class, and you'll be required to pay that fee, the initial fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $176 a month. Will you be able to pay the $176 each month? No, well, if you can tell me you can. If you can't, you can tell me you can, and then we'll take it from there.
That's what I'll be paying to probation.
Okay, the probation fee is $176 a month.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to pay that each month?
Yes, sir.
You are, okay. You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Pritchett, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Ms. Pritchett, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Pritchett, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure when your record is sealed to the general public. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Ms. Pritchett, this will conclude your case. You will stand next to the bailiff, follow his directions. Once you finish following his directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Burbank, you're free to go as well. And you have a blessed
Thank
day.
you. Have a good weekend.
Same to you. Percy Bernard. Okay, this is cause number 23 CCCR 2080, case of style of state of Texas versus Percy Tyrone Bernard. Mr. Bernard, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Bernard, you represented in your case by your attorney, Peter Dahl. Attorney Dahl, how are you doing?
Pretty
And this, now, Mr. Dahl, what's the announcement of Mr. Bernard's case?
Can we hold it about 20 minutes? We have to find what that's part of it.
Okay, so we'll just hold. All right,
And,
give you an opportunity to talk to your client. Okay,
it's the DA. but-
okay. Just have a seat. We'll call you back up. Next case is 24 CCCR 2336, case of style of state of Texas versus Tara Elliott Nichols.
That's a
Okay, hold
couple
on.
of weeks.
Now, Mr. Nichols, your full name is Terrell Elliott Nichols.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Nichols?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Nichols, you representing the case by your attorney, Peter Dahl. And Attorney Dahl, what's your announcement in Mr. Nichols' case?
I have to talk to the prosecutor and there's an offer on the table.
Okay, so you want me to hold on this?
Mhm.
All right, just have a seat, Mr. Nichols.
Okay.
Next case, for the next three cases are cause numbers 24 CCCR 0412, cause number 24 CCCR 0413. And cause number 24 CCCR 0447. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Gary Senegal III. Senegal, would you please come forward? Mr. Senegal, your full name is Gary Senegal III.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Senegal?
I'm doing fine, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. Senegal, you represented by your attorney, Attorney Peter Dahl. Mr. Dahl, what's your announcement in Mr. Senegal's case?
There's an offer there, but I have to talk to the defendant about it.
Okay, you want me to hold?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll just
Your
hold.
Honor, if I may, I think there's a separate matter. I think the defendant had hired Rife. I think Rife
yeah.
hasn't filed a substitution.
He filed something?
No,
I don't think it's been filed.
I had talked to y'all last time about it, and he said, she said she was gonna file it.
we
Okay,
can call the office and see what's going on.
he never filed it?
The motions.
I don't-
I didn't see it when I just checked, Judge.
I don't,
I got no idea.
yeah, I know, but he did,
I mentioned.
So you hired right?
yeah, because see,
I
Mike
mentioned that last
said,
time.
Mike filed the letter of rep, but we told him he needed to file.
A motion to
motion
substitute.
sub.
Okay,
So I want,
so we're gonna reset these cases
yeah, that's right.
to give Wright Kimmel opportunity to file the necessary paperwork.
Mhm.
And once that paperwork is filed, then Mr. Kimmel will be will become your attorney of record.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're gonna get your reset from the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Appreciate it.
All right,
You know, am I
Yeah,
gonna be
you-
excused or?
no, you said you was gonna talk to the prosecutors and about those other cases.
Yeah, but I mean for him. Or do
Well,
we need to-
the motion to sub, you're gonna get the reset, but the motion to sub hadn't been filed yet.
Okay.
Okay,
We need to talk about it.
That's cool.
so Wright Kimmel.
Try.
I know, people don't have to rewrite this. My
Yes,
daughter's
right.
not.
Jeffrey Crowder.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is cause number 24 CCCR 1920, case of style of the state of Texas versus Jeffrey Crowder. Mr. Crowder, is that your full name?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Crowder, you represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc, who's appearing in court in person. Mr. Crowder, how are you doing?
All right, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Doing good, Judge.
Mr. LeBlanc, what is your announcement in Mr. Crowder's case?
Judge, I've received an offer, we need to convey it to Mr. Brown.
Okay, you received an offer, okay.
We discussed the case. I need to discuss some things with him regarding that and convey that and see what he wants to do with it.
Okay, give us a reset date. He was? Yeah, sure was. I'm looking at the docket sheet. It says defendant was to appear in person on today's date. Mr. Crowder?
Sir.
I see a note here that says you're supposed to appear in court in person on today's date.
And Judge, that may be a misunderstanding. I don't know if we told him, I told him that I would be here. And
Yeah, but I mean,
think he might be out of town
I usually tell him on Zoom. So he knew that he had to be here in person on that date, on today's date, rather. So, Mr. Crowder, why are you not here?
My job, I just switched jobs. My job had a hard time getting me here when I requested. They last time they had me in the area, but not in Beaumont area on that date. So obviously I missed it. But yeah, I drive trucks, so it's kind of I got to do my job and coordinate with them to get me there on time or on that date. Excuse me.
Okay, this day may have been, was this day arranged? Did we agree, was this day agreed to? Do we know?
I do not
He
recall,
must
Your
have been
Honor.
on Zoom.
Yeah, he had to be on Zoom for us to,
Inform him of that.
You must have told him he had to be in person.
right.
I wanted to.
Okay, so state, what do you want to do?
He said he's out of town.
Yeah, I guess luck, he may be in a truck or something, I don't know.
You can ask him where he is.
Can I ask him, Maria?
Mhm.
Yeah, we can ask him.
Mr. Crowder, where are you currently located?
Right now I'm in what's this? Alabama?
Alabama.
Yes.
Okay, we need to get him here.
Can we do a short reset on him, Judge? Like a very
Okay,
short.
we're gonna give you a very short reset. And you need to be here on that date. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this question. You say you're in Alabama, when are you gonna be in Texas?
Like I said, so I drive trucks, so it's basically where they send me. I try to coordinate my coordinate with them. Like I said, I just started a new job last week, so I try to coordinate with them. But my last job, I would tell them my court dates. They'd say they try to get me to that area on that day, and then the week of comes, and then they didn't do it. That's kind of why I left that job as well. They said they're gonna do things, and they didn't do it. But it's kind of partially tied into my job. I would say I got to be there on this date, and then they don't get me there, or they give me a whole different area, and I can't really just switch the route and drive the truck. I want to drive the truck. But I did let my job know when I had those dates.
Okay, now short reset, what time we talk?
He said he got a new job for them to work with him. So if he has the new job and they can work with him, then I'd say a week.
1 week? Okay,
I may need a little bit. I may need a little bit longer than 1 week. I'm not gonna lie. They may need longer than that to get me to a certain area. So I just want to say that before you agree to 1 week, they may need more than 1 week to get me to that area or that city, basically.
March 28th.
March 20th, you said the 8th or 29th? Okay, what's the date?
2 weeks.
Okay, this case could be reset 2 weeks, March 29th, 28th, excuse me, March 28th.
Okay.
All right, and so you need to be here in person on that day.
Okay.
March 28th at 9 a.m. County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas, Beaumont, Texas. Now you need to be here in person. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go. You have a blessed day and make sure that you continue to drive safely.
All right, you too, boss.
All right, you have a blessed day. Bye.
You too.
Okay, this is cause number 24 CCCR 0870, case of South State of Texas versus Chelsea Renee Newton. Ms. Newton, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Newton?
All right.
That's good. Now, Ms. Newton, you are represented in your case by your attorney, Brian Kimler. Mr. Kimler is not here. But the state has filed a motion to dismiss your case. Is that correct, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so I'm signing the dismissal. You'll be able to get a copy of the dismissal from our coordinator. Once you get a copy of the dismissal, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too.
When was Seneca reset to? What date? But this is, court is back in session and calls number 24 CCCR 2336, case of South State of Texas versus Terrell Elliott Nichols. And Mr. Nichols, again, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Nichols, you're represented by your attorney, Peter Dahl. Mr. Dahl, what's your announcement? And Mr. Nichols' text.
We would like 30 days or 28 days. He has a couple of questions about the offer. So
Okay, give us a reset date. Twenty-fifth? Okay, this case be reset to April 25th, 2025. You're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You're welcome. This is cause number 23 CCCR 2080 case of style of state of Texas versus Percy Tyrone Bernard. Mr. Bernard, is that your full name? Mr. Bernard, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Bernard, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Bernard, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Bernard?
How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Bernard, you're representing your case by your attorney, Peter Doyle. Attorney Doyle, do you waive a record in Mr. Bernard's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bernard, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleged that you, Percy Tyrone Bernard, on or about May 6th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of false statement to a police officer. Mr. Bernard, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
To this charge, how did you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Or you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Okay, Mr. Bernard, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to boxes checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case. You have no right of appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. You understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Bernard, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bernard, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State,
CO for states 1.
any objections to state's exhibit number 1?
No objection.
No objection, state's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Doyle, you've advised and counseled Mr. Bernard. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Judge.
And Mr. Bernard, your attorney, Mr. Doyle, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with the services?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bernard, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is to a $200 fine plus court costs with credit for 2 days towards that fine court costs.
Okay. Mr. Bernard, the state is offering that you served, well, that you pay a fine of $200 plus court costs. What's the court cost?
277.
Plus court costs of $277. Well, you don't do that on this is not a probation case. Okay, so, Mr. Bernard, the total amount is, well, you get 2 days credit. That's 2 days credit toward the fine and court cost. So since you're getting 2 days credit toward the fine and court cost, which is $200. Okay, so the total amount of the fine and court cost is $477. But you have 2 days credit toward the fine and court cost. So we're gonna subtract 200 from the 477, so that leaves a balance of the $277. Are you able to pay the $277 today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
I do have a question though.
yes,
So it have to be me who come back and pay it?
No,
He's gonna have a secretary.
somebody could come back and pay it. It has to be paid in the county,
Clerk's-
clerk's office, as long as it's paid today.
He said y'all don't take cards.
That's, I think they do in the clerk's.
They,
office.
I think they take that downstairs. I think they take that in the, county clerk's office. What you can do, let me do this here.
Okay.
Once, now, are you able to pay the $277 today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
I think so.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, you're gonna stand next to the bailiff and follow his directions. Once you finish following his directions, you can go downstairs.
Mhm.
They'll tell you there's different forms of payment
Sure.
that, they accept. Okay, I
Is that
think credit, yeah, right, it's
That's
right
those-
below it.
Those with the glass building also, the glass windows?
No, it's on the first floor, it's right below us. If you walk down the steps, it's gonna be
I
right,
want a marriage license.
yeah. So you go in into that office, tell me you're gonna have you're here to pay a fine. They'll let you know the different forms of payment. I think one of them you can't pay by credit card.
Okay.
Okay, and once you finish here, and once you make the payment, you just bring the receipt back up here,
Okay.
okay?
Yes, sir.
So please stand over there. Once you finish, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Are we excused?
Yes, and Mr. Doyle, you are excused. You have to have your paperwork with you. What happened? How did it know? You give me that 2 days credit? This is cause number 24CCCR 1694, case of Style State of Texas versus Francis Hetzel. Ms. Hetzel, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Hetzel?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Hetzel, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska is not here because he's in a hearing in another court. So therefore, your case has to be reset. Give us a reset date.
April 25th.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset to April 25th of 2025. Yes,
I have a fire watch and
you did what?
a fire watch
Fire watch.
for the refineries.
Okay,
On the 20th, I have a 3-week job starting
on what date?
on the 20th.
The 20th. Could you put it before the 20th? We'll put it before the 20th.
Okay.
Okay.
Which month?
Next month.
At the 20th of this month, and my job starting.
Oh, your job starts the 20th of this
Would
month.
that run into it as well as
April 25th. You said you start in March,
March?
but she.
March 20th.
3 weeks,
Oh, plus 3 weeks?
3 weeks after the 20th, right?
Oh, you wanna come there?
Oh, no, the 25th should be more than 3 weeks after the 20th of March. This is April the 25th.
Okay,
That's a month after the March
That's 4
20th.
weeks. So it'll be.
That's-
I was making sure that I didn't.
So the 25th will be good?
The 30th, April 30th to be safe.
30, no, perfect.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Hester, you're gonna get your reset? Once you get your reset, you're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us. You have a blessed day.
Of course, thank you.
You're welcome. Who's the prosecutor? Mr. Hill? I have to, write the date on it. Okay. Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in 2 cases. They are cause numbers 24 CCCR 1134 and cause number 24 CCCR 1208. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Noah Johnson IV. Mr. Johnson, is that your full name? Mr. Johnson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Johnson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Johnson, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Johnson? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Johnson, you represented in your case by Attorney Corey Gomel.
Correct.
Attorney Gomel, how are you doing?
Doing good, Judge.
And Mr. Gomel, do you waive a record in Mr. Johnson's cases?
We do, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, in cause number 24 CCCR 1134, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Noah Johnson IV, on or about January 2nd of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A offense of forgery of a financial instrument. Mr. Johnson, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Johnson, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Johnson, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this. Okay. Mr. Wingate, please put your mic on mute. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Johnson, on page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked.
Yes,
The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Do we have a discovery certification?
Yeah.
So close.
And I'll have the auto logs momentarily.
Okay.
Or if you want, just want to proceed with the signature.
Okay. Now, Mr. Johnson, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir. I do know.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Okay, now, Mr. Johnson, before you signed all of these documents, that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? Did you understand everything that your attorney went over? Is everything in these documents true and correct
Sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Johnson, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yeah, for safe one.
No objection.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Gomel, you've advised and counseled Mr. Johnson. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Johnson, your attorney, Mr. Gomel, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
On this case, the agreement is to 90 days probate over 1 year with a $250 fine, 50 hours community service. In this case, it's to run concurrent with the next.
Okay. Mr. Johnson,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you pay a fine of $250. Well, first of all, let me back up. The state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $250 plus court costs of $277. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, and reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $131 a month. Will you be able to pay the $131 each month? You will. Okay. You'll also be required to perform 50 hours of community service. You'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And this case will run concurrent with the companion case, cause number 24CCCR 1208. Mr. Johnson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Johnson, we will move to your next case, cause number 24CCCR 1208. And in this case, I have a document on my computer that is titled misdemeanor, that is titled information. And this information was also filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Noah Johnson IV, on or about March 19th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of forgery to a financial instrument. Mr. Johnson, do you understand what you have been charged with in this case? And to this charge, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there or a set of initials on the line next to a box that you're guilty.
Yes.
Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. Excuse me, there's 1 box checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? Now, the discovery certification, did they have both numbers on the last one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me see that discovery certification again. Now, I have before me a document that is on paper that is titled discovery certification. And do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Johnson, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? State, you like the
the upper
office?
states one.
Any objections? No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Again, Mr. Gomez, you advising counsel, Mr. Johnson, in this case, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
I haven't, he is not.
And Mr. Johnson, your attorney, Ms. Gomez, has advised and counseled you, you're satisfied with the services in this case.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
As with the previous case, the agreement in this case is the 90 days probation of 1 year with a $250 fine. In this case, the community service is waived because it's been assessed in the previous cases that you're not concurrent.
Okay. Okay. What is the court cost in this case? 277. Probation fee. All of that's paid. Reimbursement fee is 15. Okay. Mr. Johnson, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you would not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case, because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During a 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $250 plus court cost of $277. You would not be required to pay a probation fee because you paid a probation fee in the previous case. You would not be required to pay your analysis fee because you paid your analysis fee in the previous case. You will be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. Now, your total amount of installments, in this case, the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month is $49 a month. Will you be able to pay the $49 each month? Okay. You would not be required to perform any community service in this case because it's been waived. This case will run concurrent with the previous case, cause number 24CCCR 1134. Now, Mr. Johnson, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreements that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Johnson, you will stand next to now on his, on your probation paperwork on the second case. It may show the fees. It may show that you're paying, the probation fee and the urinalysis fee, but when you get to the probation office, they're gonna make the adjustment because you don't pay probation fee twice. You only pay it once, even though you have 2 probations. You understand that?
But even with my other, the probation I'm on right now, they gonna.
Let me ask you this here. Are you on probation in Jefferson County?
They transferred it from Harris County to Jefferson.
Well, but I think those fees go to Harris County. Yeah,
I make a payment to Harris County and Jefferson.
I know, but Jefferson, they send it, the stuff to Harris County. They just doing what is called a courtesy supervision. All right, but the one here,
No,
you'll pay the one probation fee. So since you're on probation for 2 cases, you're only gonna pay 1 fee for the probation. all right.
So they're gonna correct it at the probation.
That's right. They'll let you know that.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Judge.
all right, thank you, and nice seeing you, and have a safe trip back.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Then which one? Oh. Oh, I sent it to you. I was getting ready to hand you this.
Yeah, you need to sign it.
Oh, that's right, I need to.
Cause I accidentally finalized it before you signed it, so I have to.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Wingate? Mr. Wingate,
Yes, sir.
you had, you were instructed that you needed to be here in court in person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wasn't able to make it. I was out of town, Judge.
Okay, well, you know what we told you what I told you the last time, okay?
What was that, Judge?
You don't remember what I told you?
No, sir.
Okay, well, when you was on your couch, we told you that if you didn't come to court, your bond was gonna be forfeited. You had to be here in person.
What time court gonna be over, Judge?
Well, put it like this here, we here at 5 o'clock,
Okay.
all right?
Okay. Let me try to get that, Judge.
Okay, you told us that 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to make it.
Yeah, okay. All right. All right. All right, we'll see you later.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye. Okay, this will conclude the calling. Let's see, let's do this here. Okay, this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket on the day's date, March 14, 2025, in County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas, Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Prosecutors, you're excused. Everyone, please have a blessed day. You're welcome.
Excited to see us gone. She's in the background like this.